Hold on. Give me 1 second. Share the screen of the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
I can share the screen first, I believe, because I think I'm present, your screen. Does that...
So
I'm just trying to create a nice bit.ly.
I don't even know how to do Bitly. I tried and it was too. I was like, this is taking too long. I quit. I'm so excited to meet my newbie. I don't mind, huh? Did you go to the newbie party?
No, I don't.
Just give Hannah the Google link, like the Hangout link.
Everyone has the Hangout link. It was sent to their calendar.
Why is she asking for the YouTube one? Oh well, hey Hannah.
Okay. Can you go on that YouTube link? You're gonna want to mute it so that we don't get feedback sounds from it. But, what?
Where is it?
I put it in WhatsApp, or you can just type in bit.ly /pitch AIESEC YouTube. I know that's not the prettiest thing in the world, but whatever. And then I'm gonna share. But the stream is online. Literally, or YouTube Live. Wait, my thing now says it's live.
Ah.
Just kidding, now it says it's off. I do not know what's wrong.
You see where it says like live streaming checklist?
Yeah. Like it's recording all this right now.
What?
Pitch AIESEC YouTube. And it's all lowercase.
Everything all okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, let me say something and let's see if you can read it.
Okay. Give me a second. Did you say something?
Yeah. I said, hi, Lisa. Lisa, it's me.
Oh. Why is it not working? I need this to stop. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. I hate YouTube Live. Why can't I just record the freaking call?
I'm gonna ask Rosie.
Okay, I'm gonna exit this. Exit. Okay, I think I've got it. This to work. Okay, that bit.ly should be working. I'm gonna give everyone like 1-2 minutes to get on it, and then everyone on Google Hangouts I'll actually start. I promise. I'm so sorry. Technology is hard. And I'm a millennial. I feel bad. Okay. It's fine.
It's okay, Listia. We love you.
Talks.
Okay.
It should be working. Damn it. Is this working? Is my life working? Ah, it is. It is. Yes. Yay. Okay. Allie, do you think now's a good time to start?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay, cool. Sorry for everyone that's been patient. It's cool. So, today's call is about how to pitch AIESEC. I hope there's a lot of you out there, even though I'm just staring at this PowerPoint presentation and talking to my computer. And you might be wondering, What's happening at this call? Well, the next slide tells you. Also, my computer slowly transitioned, so just be patient for like a second and a half. So what are you going to find here today? You're going to learn about the basics, and when I mean the basics, like the basics of pitching Global Volunteer, and then selling AIESEC, because as you all know, there's a lot of competition out there to go abroad, and so, we need to tell people why AIESEC over study abroad or just traveling independently. And then we're going to really hone in on specific advice for pitching for when you're tabling, when you're doing lecture shoutouts, information sessions, or emails, sending emails with email marketing. And this is all really important right now just because, we are really active into EP recruitment, and now is the key time for us to get a lot of the opens and applications that we need for us to make February and March a month. So what are we selling? Let me click this hide thing at the bottom so it'll go away. Okay, what are we selling? Well, obviously we're all here because we have some connection with Global Volunteer, like the team. And so Global Volunteer here, it says, is an opportunity for a young person to develop leadership qualities of self-awareness, solution orientation, empowering others, and world citizenship, while by living a cross-cultural volunteer experience. And the product, the young person volunteers abroad on social impact projects that contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals. So I know you all can read. Why did I just read that out loud? It's because it's a lot of wordage, and if you just say that same exact thing to someone who's maybe never even heard of AIESEC or Global Volunteer before, that's not the best way to promote our product. It sounds fancy, don't get me wrong, and it does describe the product, but we shouldn't just be reading right off this one pager. So just for those of you who are maybe newer to this function, if you don't know, the Sustainable Development Goals are what are from the United Nations, and they are like goals that we set every 15 years that we want to achieve, and we have 17 of them. And if you want to really know a lot about one specific goal, you can literally just Google United Nations SDGs, and it has a bunch of information about all 17. And you can really learn I suggest you really learn like the SDG that your LC has really decided to focus on. So at the top, it says, the value proposition for youth. We want to deliver this cross-cultural volunteer experience for young people who seek to develop themselves in the world by contributing to the SDGs. So, that's what we're trying to like really pitch to the students that we're marketing to. But if you look at this table below, there's a column labeled exchange program policies, and then for marketing purposes. So you might be wondering, well, why aren't we really saying, what's right off the exchange program policies, the contract pretty much of what defines a global volunteer? And that's because, global volunteer, for example here, the duration, according to our policies, it can be anywhere between 6 to 78 weeks. But for marketing purposes, we really want to say that because of our supply, most of our projects are 6 weeks, and some can range up to 12 weeks, but the majority of them are 6 weeks, and it's very rare for us to find a global volunteer that's 7 to 8 weeks. So we want to make sure that we're marketing the actual supply that we have, or that we're pitching the actual supply that we have. Regarding, stipend, they're not going to be paid while they're in global volunteer, and we have to explain, that hosting, sometimes there are extra TN fees, or what people call, whether it's like to help with utilities at a host family while they live with like a host family and whatnot. So the point here is that don't just say what the policy or what the basic description of global volunteer is according to our books. Really make sure that you're marketing like real facts about global volunteer and the reality of it all, because some people might think the $500 covers everything, but sometimes it doesn't, and we have to set that right expectation when we're promoting the specific project that we have. Cool. Oops. I think I skipped the slide. Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. There was another. I need to know global volunteer. This is how we want to market it. But there's still that other hurdle of why AIESEC over everything else? Why AIESEC over study abroad or independent travel or an exchange, like an international exchange program? Well, the thing is that we are first and foremost a youth leadership development platform that promises to deliver the LDM. So the LDM, the leadership development model, on the one pager we were just looking at, it mentioned the 4 qualities of the LDM, self-aware, solution-oriented, empowering others, world citizen. And that's really what makes us unique, because unlike a study abroad, for example, where our days are kind of set out hour by hour, our programs have a lot of freedom in terms of what you do and how, and like what you do also during your free time and how you immerse yourself in that culture. And I think that kind of independence and freedom is what really pushes people out of the comfort zone, challenges them, and really fosters the space where they start to develop their personal skills and their leadership skills also. And that's really our unique selling proposition. It's what makes us stand apart from all these volunteer abroad programs and these study abroad programs that we have. Hopefully that makes sense. So when we're talking about, the pitch, that sounds like super serious, but the pitch, there's a few things that you should include, like generally, to make your pitch as effective as possible. So the first thing is that talk about the details of the specific project that your LC is promoting. So your LC should have chosen one IR, so international relations, they should have chosen one IR partner and focused on specific projects in that country. In the past, AIESEC has had this issue where people ask, when do we need to apply by? When does the project start? And a lot of our answers would always be like, well, it depends on where you go, what you do, what city you live in. And people don't like that kind of vagueness. So the reason why your LC has like this one IR partner that they're focusing on with their specific projects is that you can provide all the details about what would they be doing in X city? Would they be living in a host family, a dorm, or a hostel? What SDG are they going to be focusing on? When does the trip start? What are their hours like? And so these are things to include in the pitch just because people want details. The other thing is to give them a clear action step. Don't say, Google AIESEC United States for more information, because maybe they might not find all the information about AIESEC United States, or maybe they might not be led to aisecus.org. And then for them to look for more information, it doesn't tell them what kind of information they need to be looking for. Instead, give them a clear action step like create an account on opportunities.aisec.org, and then complete your profile. Once your profile is complete, apply to this specific opportunity at this URL, because you should have that opportunity ready since you're only promoting one or like very few projects that your LC is focusing on. The other thing is when you're including these clear call to actions, make sure you give them a deadline. And I'm not saying like a month from now or 2 weeks from now or even maybe by the end of the week. We really need to catch our customers fast, so give them a quick turnaround deadline. Like, by tomorrow, I need you to create an account on Opportunities Portal. And within 48 hours, I need you to have completed your profile and apply to this opportunity link. Because, it really instills this sense of urgency. It lowers the chances that they're going to ghost, like go missing, be unresponsive, or find a different opportunity that's not in AIESEC. And then we've just lost the customer. One other thing that some people, we know about AIESEC is that we're we're one of the more cheaper options or cost-efficient options compared to like study abroad programs that are in the thousands of dollars. Our program is $500, but that's not something that we should really flaunt because while it is good, people will have like this too good to be true mentality and kind of start suspecting like, but what's the catch? Or they start perceiving things as lower quality. So, if they ask, tell them and just be like, our focus is for us to be accessible to people as possible. But that's not something we kind of just want to throw in their face. That's not our unique selling proposition. Like we talked about a few slides ago. It's not about the price. It's just like a benefit that we get or that they have. Cool. So,
Okay.
Allie's gonna go through here for the next few slides, and I think she's going to screen share. So I'm going to stop screen sharing for 1 second. I don't know how to stop.
Okay.
Or I'll hold the slides. You just tell me when to switch because my computer won't let me. Allie? Sorry.
Yeah, hang on.
Okay.
Is it good?
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay. Okay, we're on tabling, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Allie. I talk to you a little bit about like what you should say to someone who comes up to you when you're tabling. This is like, I don't know if anyone knows me, they'll know that this is my favorite activity. It's my like coolest hobby, as I like to table. So these are the things that you should definitely do while you are representing AIESEC in our brand. So you should never be sitting behind your table. Actually, you should always be like standing up in front of your table so that you can like, you know, approach people or like ask them if they want to learn more, something like that. And you should also definitely have like an AIESEC shirt on or something that is like more professional, and just be friendly. Like, you're a student, they're a student. And like one of our like coolest things about AIESEC is that we're student run. So like kind of capitalize on that. So first you want to introduce yourself and then like ask if they're looking to learn more about AIESEC. Don't like shout at someone and like tell them to like come over here right now. Just like ask if they're like wanting more information first. Something that I like always say, I kind of have it memorized, but I say it in a really like casual way. I say, we're the world's largest youth-run non-for-profit, and we're a youth leadership development platform that sends students abroad on volunteer projects and professional internships. Something that I really also avoid asking is their major, because once you ask someone their major, then they associate what they would be doing abroad with AIESEC as something that will like advance them academically, and that is not necessarily true. In fact, there are so many people who go and volunteer abroad who are going into medicine or business and who are, you know, just like wanting to teach or volunteer at a summer camp. So try not to put that idea in their mind immediately. And also, because you guys have these specific like IR partners that you are trying to guide them to, try to avoid asking them where they want to go, but rather what they want to be doing. And then you can like look at your country and see if there's like an SDG or a project in the country that you're promoting after that. Just because you don't want to tell them like, oh yeah, we have like all kinds of projects in 127 different countries and you can go wherever you want. And so like when someone wants an internship with Google in Australia, they're just like probably going to be let down when they can't get it. And you know, you have the best relationship with your IR partners. That's why you have them, so that you can give them like these specific details. And the next thing you want to do is give them a call to action to open, and then kind of direct them to the laptop. Say like, direct them to the laptop, which you should have open at all of your tabling events. A laptop open with the opportunities portal for people to like go in and sign on right away. And just kind of make sure that they're filling in the correct information. Sometimes people don't know what like the local committee is, and you just have to make sure that they choose yours, things like that. And then to like kind of close it out, just assure them that you're going to follow up as soon as possible, and definitely make sure to follow up with them as soon as possible. And then if you remember their name, say like, thanks a lot, Allie, and then shake their hand. And like, yeah. It doesn't have to be like, I would like for tabling, it doesn't have to be like scripted or anything like that. And I think it will make people really uncomfortable if it's scripted. So definitely just practice this a bunch of times, like during like your functional team meetings or your local committee meetings. Maybe like you can make a suggestion. So like, hey, let's all practice like tabling right now. And that's a good way to like make this more natural process. Okay, lecture shouts. Okay, lecture shouts are something that can be really like off-putting at first, especially if you're not in a class full of people that you know. So definitely be sure you know what you're going to say and come prepared so that you're not nervous. First thing is to not be boring. Start with Start with something interactive, like a question or a short story. Something I like to say before I start a lecture shout. I said like I'll ask who's been abroad before, and people will like raise their hands, and then I'll like call on someone and ask them where they went and how they liked it, and like it just kind of like gets the room like prepped for like a discussion about like going abroad. Visuals in this case are definitely appreciated because not all people are auditory learners and they won't remember what you said, but they might remember a visual that you maybe post on the projector or like a small sheet that you, like a small quarter sheet that you pass out. What you want to do in this case is give brief project details. Don't go like painstakingly into every single detail of the project and the application process and stuff like that. Just go over the basics because ideally you don't want this lecture shout to last more than like 7 or 8 minutes. So you want to be brief with the project details. You also want to make sure that the project you're promoting to that lecture is like relevant to the lecture. So for example, if I'm in like a women's studies class, then I'm going to promote a women's empowerment project in Morocco, and I'm not going to promote like a teaching project, like a volunteer like teaching project. Something again is to remind them of the application deadline so that they'll like write it down and they'll prioritize AIESEC instead of like saying that, you know, applications are rolling, apply whenever you want. You have to create a sense of urgency, and promoting a deadline does this. And then definitely pass out something that enables you to follow up with them. I like to pass out sign-up sheets because if you ask people to come up to the front and put their name in a laptop, they don't want to stand up in front of everyone, and then you have to like leave your laptop there and it gets really awkward. So pass around a sheet of paper. Don't just tear something from your binder. Like kind of take some time and like make a generic sign-up sheet that you can just make copies of whenever you do lecture shows. And it'll make it look more professional. The next thing is information sessions. Okay, so info sessions can actually be really, really powerful if you have a good storyteller and a good testimonial. So storytelling is like one of the most powerful like marketing techniques you can use. So grab someone who's been abroad in your LC to like come and tell their story, or get a video from the AIESEC US Facebook. There's videos on the AIESEC United States YouTube. There's all kinds of things. Make sure to pick someone who has done something in the same country or done the same, like a similar SDG, so that it's relevant. In information session, this is where you want to go more in depth because you're there for a longer amount of time. This isn't a lecture shout where you're going to be brief with all the information. Definitely go through the project details, what they can expect in terms of logistics and the application process. And you should definitely do your information sessions based on like a certain country, instead of like, oh, we're having an information session for all teaching projects. So that means you have something in like Argentina and China and Spain and like all of these other things. So try to avoid that. Definitely stick to one country because you will know the project details for that country better. Yes, information sessions. Also, something that I just want to add on there is that you should definitely have people from your OGV team or your OGT team to be at the information session in case an EP is ready to like have a meeting right then and there, or in case they need like help filling out their profile on the opportunities portal or on EXPA and things like that. So definitely make sure that you have HR allocated to help with this information session. And I think that's it for me.
Yeah, thanks, Allie. Oh, there's an echo. Okay. I just want to go to the next one. Okay, email marketing. So, not as daunting as lecture shoutouts or maybe information sessions for those who are scared of like public speaking or just not their favorite like thing to start their day off with. But email marketing, it can be fun, but can it also be the biggest struggle because spam blockers, or not spam blockers, but people just hate email sometimes, or they don't check it. But we want to change that, obviously. So with email marketing, this is really for people who are leads. So they like showed interest maybe at a table and said, yeah, you can sign me up to join your email newsletter, like listserv, or they're open and they haven't really like applied to anything. So you want to kind of nurture this with like newsletter and email marketing. So MailChimp is, one of the most famous newsletter platforms that AIESEC uses. A lot of small businesses use it because it's easy and it's free. If you've never heard of it before, check it out. It costs nothing to open an account, and it's very user-friendly in the sense that there's a lot of templates, and you just drag and drop things to customize it as you please, and it doesn't take that long to like learn it. Sorry, this is hyperlink green, which is an awful color right now on the screen, but what it says is use the email headers from the resource hub. So as soon as this call ends, I'm going to put this link on the resource hub, for which those of you who don't know or have forgotten, the resource hub can be accessed by aisecushub.org, and that has all the materials from that we've created for education materials, and also all the PowerPoints from the calls. So this underline is hyperlinking to email headers, and the reason why we're really emphasizing these email headers is because these are all very professional photos about AIESEC and Global Volunteer, and we want those to be the first image that you put on in your newsletter, because it's engaging and it's pretty to look at, and it captures their attention, and they're like, okay, now that I've opened this newsletter, I might as well read it, because some people just like open it so that it clicks that it's been read and then they move on with their life, and we don't want them to do that. So some other tips we want to say that you should include in your email is to have a few calls to action and make them clear. Like I said before, make sure it's not just click here for more information, because they don't know what kind of information they even need to be looking for. Have numbered calls to action. Make sure it's hyperlinked to the right site, or make sure it's, filling out the right Google form or whatever it is. And like have deadlines by them so they know exactly when things need to be completed by. Like Ali and I have been saying, instill this sense of urgency, and it'll make your conversion rates a lot faster if you give them deadlines, because they'll take them more seriously. And it's also shows that AIESEC is more professional. The other thing you can include in the newsletter is any upcoming events you have, maybe like a fast match day, or I know some schools like UGA or like Texas have had super days where it's kind of like long, like 5-hour office hours where students can kind of just drop by, ask any questions, open, apply, be interviewed, etc., whatever at this time. So any upcoming events, or maybe if you're going to be at a big fair that your school is hosting, make sure you tell them that you're going to be there and to stop by your table so you can give them that awesome tabling pitch that you've been practicing. And also showcase the opportunities that your LC is offering. Don't just link them to opportunities.aiesec.org, but make sure it's taking them to the exact opportunity page of the project that your LC is focusing on. That way they don't sift through all these other opportunities, and now you're going to have a hard time explaining to them that, going to Mauritius, not the best idea. Haven't had the best experience with them. That kind of thing. And lastly, include testimonials. Testimonials, I know Ali mentioned about it before, but they're really like helpful because they finally see proof that someone went on an AIESEC exchange experience and like what they got from it. We've got a bunch of national content and videos. You can find them on like Facebook, especially about people's EP experiences, and it'll be really cool if they come from people that's gone abroad from your university. And if you're in expansions or something like that, just choose maybe a university that's nearby you, so you can be like, that's our neighbor participant over there, or just choose an engaging one that you like best. So here's an example of like a newsletter that you can send out. Like these pictures at the top are also included in the email headers folder that I'm linking to you all on the hub. And it's clear here, we've got a quick paragraph, and there's buttons that, if they click, will direct them to a specific opportunity or direct them to a specific site, like our social media on Facebook or a blog. They can get more information from there in a very organized means. And also on the right side, the example has a section of why AIESEC, and it really delivers that unique selling proposition that I was talking about earlier before, like why us over study abroad or formal exchange programs. Okay, before we open it up for questions, what I kind of want to challenge you all to do is to kind of create like a script. And I know we just talked about, don't create a script. That's why it's in quotation marks. Is just create a short bullet points for things you want to say in each of these scenarios. So when you're tabling, make sure you ask them questions and you're not pitching to them for 4.5 minutes a novel about AIESEC and our history and all that stuff, because they're going to check out after 15 seconds. Or for the lecture shout out, what information you need to include and that kind of stuff. Once you kind of have that script, that bullet list of information you need to include for each of these scenarios, practice with other members from your team, from your LC, maybe even your friends or a roommate who's not in AIESEC, and see if your pitch that you delivered to them was actually engaging. Was it convincing? Were you enthusiastic about it, or were you kind of staring off into the ceiling as you were thinking out loud? Did it seem too fake? Was your script too detailed and you came off a little bit not authentic? Because all these things are going to matter when you're actually pitching at a tabling event or lecture shoutouts and information sessions. So the more you practice, the easier it'll be for you to get up in front of that 300-person lecture room and talk about AIESEC for 5 or 7 minutes. And these people will want to help you, and you can help each other out. And you might hear someone's pitch, and that's really great, and you're like, okay, I want to include that part as my pitch, that kind of thing. So that was kind of my challenge for you all to do by the end of the week, maybe by tomorrow too. But now I kind of want to open it up for questions that anyone has that Allie and I can answer. I'm going to turn off screen share, so. Okay.
Yeah, if you're a TL.
For everyone on YouTube Live, I know it's lagging by 5 seconds, but feel free to put any questions you have in the commentary. I am looking at it. And I can answer them right now. I'll wait for the next 5 minutes, and then we can kind of end things. The commentary, I am looking at it.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. Awkward moment. I'm going to say, because there have been no questions, we're good. Hopefully that's right. If not, ask your VP, OG, or if you're a VP, you can just ask in the WhatsApp group, and I'll be answering those. And then within the next 15 minutes, this presentation will also be up on AIESECUSHub.org, which you all should check out, because I'm sure a lot of your questions can be answered by a resource there.
Yes, that's true.
Please do so.
If you have a question, go to AIESECUS.
Bye.
Thank you so much.